single dad found a crying nurse with her baby in the rain, unaware she'd lost everything but hope. The storm had swallowed the evening sky, turning the world into a blur of water and cold, but even through the pounding rain, Daniel noticed her, standing at the edge of the dimly lit road, trembling beneath a flickering street lamp. A nurse's uniform soaked through, her hair plastered to her cheeks, a crying infant pressed against her chest as if she were shielding him from the whole cruel universe. Something about the way she clutched the baby, like it was the last thing she had left on earth, stopped Daniel in his tracks. He had seen despair before, felt it, lived through it, but the look in her eyes was something different, something breaking. He didn't know then that her entire life had collapsed just hours earlier, and he was about to walk into the most unexpected turning point of his own life. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and humanity, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to channel name. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts. The rain hammered harder, beating against Daniel's jacket as he stepped toward her, unaware that this single moment would intertwine two broken worlds. He had been heading home from the late shift at the auto shop, his 12-year-old son, Liam, waiting alone with a reheated dinner as usual. Ever since Daniel's wife passed away 3 years ago, life had become a constant battle of responsibilities that left him exhausted, but he pushed through it every day because his son needed him. But when he saw the woman, hunched over like she was carrying far more than her child's weight, something inside him shifted. For a second he wondered if she might be injured. Then he wondered if she even wanted to be seen. Her shoulders shook uncontrollably, not just from the cold but from something deeper, something raw. Daniel approached slowly, not wanting to startle her. Her face was streaked with rain and tears that blended together, making it impossible to tell where one ended and the other began. She whispered apologies to her baby, as if she blamed herself for the storm, for the hunger, for the world. That alone made Daniel's heart tighten. He didn't know her story yet, but he knew the way someone sounded when they had run out of strength. He gently guided her toward his truck, offering warmth, shelter, anything. Yet even as she stepped inside, she held herself like someone expecting the next bad thing to happen. Her name was Maya. She was a nurse at the city hospital, steady, hardworking, soft-spoken. But her life had fallen apart in a single day. Her landlord had evicted her without warning, claiming she was behind on rent she had already paid. Her bank account had been drained due to fraudulent charges, and the coworker who had promised her help never answered their phone again. In one horrifying afternoon, she went from struggling mother to homeless, jobless, and helpless. All she had left was her baby, Noah, and an old backpack with diapers and a bottle that had gone cold hours ago. She hadn't been able to find a place to go before the storm hit, so she had walked, hoping fate would show her even a little mercy. Daniel drove her and the baby to his home, a small, worn-down house with flickering lights and a heater that groaned when turned on. But it was warm, safe, and full of the quiet, ordinary love he tried to build for his son. Liam opened the door, looking curiously at the soaked strangers, but the moment he saw the crying infant, something softened in him. He fetched towels, blankets, and even offered the leftover food without Daniel saying a word. Maya tried to protest, mumbling that she would leave soon, that she didn't want to burden them, but her shivering made every word collapse before it reached her lips. That night she fed her baby with trembling hands while Daniel warmed a bottle and set dry clothes near her. She felt ashamed, overwhelmed, and grateful in ways she couldn't explain. When she finally slept, curled up on the couch with Noah resting on her chest, Daniel watched silently, realizing that kindness didn't need to be grand. Sometimes it was simply offering space for someone to breathe again. In her exhausted sleep, Maya still held the baby tightly, a sign of fear that tomorrow might steal even him away. Days passed slowly but gently. Daniel helped her talk to the bank. He drove her to the hospital to speak with HR about her situation. Liam played with baby Noah every chance he got, giggling whenever the little boy tried to grab his hair or his hoodie strings. Bit by bit, the exhausted heaviness in Maya's eyes began to ease. She smiled more often, though it was still a cautious smile. She apologized constantly, always saying she would leave soon, but Daniel never asked her to rush. He knew what it was like to rebuild after life shatters. Sometimes, you just needed someone to say you could stay a little longer. At night, after everyone slept, Daniel found himself staring at the quiet walls of his house, feeling something he had not felt in years: company. A warmth beyond the silence. Maya cleaned the kitchen, folded laundry, whispered soft lullabies to Noah that somehow made the house feel alive. And though Daniel had no intention of developing feelings, he was a single father who barely managed his own heart. He couldn't ignore the way she brought comfort simply by being there. Her kindness wasn't loud. It was the gentle kind that sneaks into a home and slowly makes it feel whole again. But the past had a cruel habit of chasing. One evening, Maya received a call that shattered her calm facade. Her landlord had thrown out all her belongings, claiming she abandoned the apartment. Everything she owned, her clothes, her baby's things, her documents, were gone. She didn't cry loudly. She just sat down, held Noah close, and tears silently streamed down her cheeks. She whispered, "I have nothing left." Daniel sat beside her, not touching her, not speaking, just offering presence. And even that small quietness felt like a lifeline to her. She didn't know why this man, a stranger, cared so much. But she knew his kindness had given her something she thought she'd lost forever: hope. Over the next weeks, Daniel helped her apply for assistance, found a community support program for mothers, and helped her submit a complaint against the landlord. Her nursing supervisor approved her emergency leave and promised her position would remain secure. Slowly, the universe seemed to shift, just a little, toward fairness. Small victories came, one by one. A replacement ID, a temporary housing option, a donated stroller for Noah. Every step forward felt like reclaiming pieces of her stolen life. Yet the thought of leaving Daniel's home brought a strange ache to her heart. Liam had grown attached to baby Noah, treating him like a tiny brother. The house no longer felt like a place Maya was borrowing. It felt like a place where she could breathe again, where the shadows didn't feel so heavy. And Daniel, quiet, patient, strong Daniel, had become the anchor she didn't know she needed. His presence was steady, never demanding, always kind. She caught him watching the baby with a soft smile when he thought no one noticed. She caught him fixing things around the house whenever she mentioned something felt broken, even if she hadn't asked. His care was simple, but it was the sort that softened the deepest bruises in the soul. As her situation stabilized, Maya found herself torn between gratitude and fear. She did not want to overstay, did not want to misinterpret kindness as something more. But the night before she was supposed to move into the temporary apartment arranged by the program, she lay awake feeling the weight of a new kind of loss, the loss of a safe home filled with people who treated her like family. The thought of taking Noah away from a place where he was cherished made her chest tighten. When morning came, Daniel helped load the small boxes she had received from donations. The air felt heavy, thick with unspoken emotion. Liam hugged baby Noah for too long, pretending he was just trying to make him laugh, but everyone could see his eyes turning glossy. Maya thanked Daniel again and again, though each word broke a little in her throat. She didn't know how to leave without feeling like she was leaving behind something precious. Daniel finally spoke, his voice gentle, steady. He told her she wasn't leaving their lives, only the house. He said she could call anytime, visit anytime, ask for help anytime. His tone held a sincerity that wrapped around her heart like a warm blanket. It was the first time she realized he wasn't just being kind, he cared. Not out of obligation, not out of pity, but out of genuine, quiet affection that had grown slowly between shared struggles and shared healing. She moved into the apartment, but she and Noah visited often. Dinner nights, hospital checkups, birthdays, even ordinary evenings when the silence of her new place felt too big. And bit by bit, she and Daniel built something that neither of them had expected when he found her standing helpless in the storm. A bond born from brokenness but strengthened by compassion. Over months, their lives intertwined naturally, not rushed, not forced, just two hearts learning to trust again. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these emotional stories alive and helps them reach others who need them. Before we end, I have a special request. Comment if you believe that unexpected kindness can change a life forever. And as the months turned into a new season, with green leaves returning to the trees and sunlight warming the world again, Daniel realized something beautiful. Sometimes the people we find in our darkest storms become the very ones who bring the brightest parts of our future. And Maya, holding Noah and smiling softly at Daniel and Liam across the table one warm afternoon, realized she had not lost everything after all. She had found a new beginning. A home. A family. Maya ki temporary apartment main shift home ki bad zindagi kuch had tax sambhalni lagi thai. Par stability ka matlab yanahin thaki tanhai kadam ho gei ho. Harat jab wo baby noako sulati. Kamre kai kamoshi uses rat in yad diladidi jo usni Daniel ki garmain guzari thai. Wo chodi awazan. Liam ki hansi ki jenkar. Kitchen main Barton hilni kai du sazish. Or sab zayada wo asas ki wo koi bajnahai. Balki and san ho jo kisi ki garmain apni jagabana raha ho. Daniel kagar parana tha. Ch hoda tha. Lekin dil si bara hua tha. Compartment kai safe, or modern chamakas warmth ko kabhai, replace nahai kar sakti thai. Fur by mayakud ko mejbor kardi rahai ki wo independent bain, apni zindagi kud si dobara kadi care, or kisi par zimidari bank na ra. Lekin ajibat yathai ki jitna wo apnaz pasan karn kai kashish kardi, utna hai zayada uska dil Daniel kigar ki az paz gumtarithta. Hardusser din Daniel use a grocery store tack drop card dita. Kabhai baz is bahan siki, rot ko bus ka wait mat karo, then bad gay high. Liam har weekend p insist karda ki, anti maya, noa ko lekar zarar ana. Maina scooter chalana sikin wala hoon. Or maya har bar dilki andarek halka sadadkin mesus kardi, a sadadkin jo dar or yumi dono si bani hodi high. Daniel by battle rahatha, lekin kamoshi si. Pale wo haimshup ne emotions ko dabakar rakta tha, sachta tha ek single father ko surf medbut ring na chahyai, parjab si maya ai thai, wo up negar main ek ajib si rashni mesus karda tha. Wo rashni surf maya ki present si nahai, bulkius transformation si thai jo usni liam main dekai, wo ladka jo upni makai mount ki bad and hiron main gum ho tha. Ab fur si hands rahatha, fur si kil rahatha, fur si kisi par barosakar rahatha. Daniel har bar yasachta. Shayad maya or noa ni hammer gar kai rukai hawa ko thoda san sani banya hai. Fur ek din, ek call ai, hospital si. Maya ko wapas duty join karni thai, or just ward main wo kam kardi thai, wahan staff shortage ka masla tha. Lekin is bar ek or twist tha. Hospital ni use a night shifts dean ka plan banya tha. Kunk senior nurses si pale juniors ko high yes shift milti thai. Night shift ka matlab tha ki mayapuri rot hospital main hogi or subatak wapas ayagi. Noah ab high surf kuch mahan ka tha, or uska kayo rakinas whacked kisi, or ki lai mushkil ho sakta tha. Or mayato kisi ko pershan by nahai karna chadi thai. Is thought ni maya ko jerry sok main dal dia. Wo upne dilko samjha rahai thai ki shayad temporary shelter main kisi caretaker ka arrangement ho jay, par yes sok by use a bechin kar didi. Wo upne back ko kisi ajnabi ki paz rot bar chor kar kays sukan si kam kar sakti thai. Us sham wo Daniel ki gar gay, noa ko liam ki soth chhad kar kitchen main kamoshi si betha, or Daniel nipale hai samaj liya ki kuch use a Persian kar raha hai. Usni bina puch chai rakti, kyunk wo janta tha, kabhai sabs bada support surf presence hodi hai, sawal naha. Maya ni dear si baja ki night shifts start ho rahai hain, or wo naha janti ki noa kakaya hoga. Uski awaz tut rahai thai, jays wo up ne op ko har teraf si fail hoda mesus kar rahai ho. Danielus whacked kuch der surf use a dekat raha ek thaki hui majo dunia ki bad si jahuk gay thai. Lekin fur by up ne back ki future ki lai lad rahai thai. Fur Daniel ni wo bot kahai jo maya kabhai nahai bul payagi. Usni kahaki, noa yehen resaktahai jab tak tum night shift cardi ho. Main gar pi hoda hun, liam by kush hoga. Tum dono hammer gar main safe ho. Maya